Did you know a new policy could add up to £56 a year to your grocery bill? Yes, you heard that right. And what's more, it's sparking a nationwide debate that affects every single shopper in Britain. So, what's the deal with Labour's so-called grocery tax? And how is it connected to green reforms in our wallets? Let's break it down. Alright, here's the scoop. Labour's proposed policy, officially called the Extended Producer Responsibility or EPR, is designed to hit the government's net zero targets. Sounds like a win for the environment, right? Well, not so fast. This policy shifts the cost of collecting and disposing of packaging waste from local councils to the businesses that produce it. And you can probably guess what happens next. Those costs get passed on to us, the consumers. Let's crunch some numbers. According to DEFRA's own impact assessment, EPR could hike up household shopping bills by as much as £56 a year in a worst-case scenario. Collectively, that's a whopping £1.4 billion extra that families across the country could end up paying annually. But wait, there's more. Retailers argue this figure could actually be higher. The British Retail Consortium estimates the policy could cost businesses over £2 billion a year. So, what's driving these costs? Under EPR, businesses will pay a fee based on the type of packaging materials they use. For example, using plastic could cost £485 per tonne, while more recyclable options like paper come in cheaper at £215 per tonne. The goal is to nudge businesses towards greener practices, but critics argue this push might come at a steep price for consumers. Now, here's where it gets even more complicated. While the funds from this levy go to local councils to cover waste management costs, there's no guarantee that council tax will decrease to reflect these savings. That's one of the major sticking points. Lord McKinley, chair of the Net Zero Scrutiny Committee, didn't hold back. He called it a grocery tax that piles over £1 billion of unnecessary costs on consumers. And it's not just him. Industry leaders and economic experts have raised concerns about how this could fuel inflation and burden businesses already grappling with rising costs. Inflation, by the way, is already on the rise. And the Bank of England warns that policies like these could worsen the squeeze on household budgets for years to come. DEFRA's own analysis admits the policy could add 0.07% to inflation. It's like adding fuel to a fire that's already burning hot, but not everyone's against it. Proponents argue that EPR could pave the way for a world-class recycling system and reduce unnecessary packaging waste. DEFRA claims the policy will create 21,000 jobs and drive £10 billion in investment in the recycling sector over the next decade. Still, the question remains, are these long-term benefits worth the short-term pain for consumers and businesses? Critics like Lord Frost think not. He's accused Labour of prioritising green politics over economic growth, saying the policy shows a disregard for the financial strain on ordinary families. So, where does that leave us? On one hand, you have the potential for environmental progress and job creation. On the other, rising grocery bills and added pressure on already strained household budgets. It's a balancing act between going green and keeping costs in check. What do you think? Should we embrace the cost for the sake of the planet? Or is this a step too far during tough economic times? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns of policies that affect your life.